Welcome to Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports. We are a little on the somber side this evening as we saw the Ravens once again drop another heartbreaker today. Very close game to the Houston Texans. Mike, by the skin of their teeth, they lost this one.
Yep, like horseshoes and hand grenades and small nuclear warheads. We were so close. But John and I were talking. Is this one of the worst losses you can remember, Jason?
So if you guys remember the Super Bowl year, they actually got their Heiners handed to them by the Texans in Houston, the Matt Schaub-led Texans. And it was one of those things where it's like Suggs started coming back like from that Achilles injury, like slowly but surely. And I thought that, and it was the night, that big loss was the day that the Orioles played game one of the ALCS in 2012. Or, pardon me, ALDS in 2012. So to me, I don't know if it's one of the worst. I guess you could call it one of the worst losses. Like from talking to you guys earlier and texting and seeing what people are posting, I'm just not sure why everyone's surprised. I'm just a little, I actually think I'm surprised at everyone being surprised. Because when you put a team out there like they did today, I mean, here's a news break. My prediction is that Houston doesn't make the playoffs. They're not good, but there isn't a team in the NFL that they would have beat with that team today. That's what I'm convinced of. So if you want to call it the worst loss, sure. But John, to me, when you're missing your all-pro safety, you're the Hall of Fame quarterback, you're missing your all-pro, we could say it again, all-pro fullback, your all-pro D tackle, your Van Noy finally came back today. It's not that they have any more injuries than any other team, but the injuries that they have are to such key players. It changes the entire dynamic of this team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been talking about this for weeks, that a lot of Henry's problems are that Ricard's not in front of him taking that first hit. And if you watch the game, like I went back the other day and watched some videos from last year versus the videos from this year. Last year, Henry wasn't getting hit until he was at the line of scrimmage or beyond the line of scrimmage. This year, he's getting hit 3-4 yards deep in the backfield, and that's where Ricard is getting it. And then when you look at your center fielder, let's say this, your center fielder and your shortstop, like in a baseball game, are both out. You're trying to play. Given the green dot to a rookie, you're trying to play a defense without your safety and your middle linebacker, and you have two rookies running those positions. So, there's a bunch of problems. And I listened to Kevin on the way back from this event I was at, and then I saw something else too, that some of the players didn't even know who had the green dot. So there's a bunch of other things going on that are not even necessarily player related. It's some coaching related things as well.
Yeah, and on top of it again, you're missing Humphreys again. You're all-pro cornerback, and just all of this compounded together. Mike, to me, it's. I listened to Kevin too, and I texted you guys before Kevin's show came out, and I think this was Zach Orr's last game coaching the Ravens. And I think it has to happen. And I don't think it's because of today. I think it's because of last year compounded with this year, and he never got on track this year. If you don't make a change right now, then you're just accepting that this is what it's going to be, and we're just going to blame the injuries. I don't think firing John Harbaugh yet is. I think if we keep going down this road, that's what's going to happen. But I don't see how that solves anything, because as bad as all of this is, if Lamar comes back next week, Hamilton comes back next week. I think Roquan's still out for a couple weeks, but Stanley there's your all-pro left tackle. If they come back, all of a sudden you win a game, you're on a bye, everyone gets to heal. Now you start stringing a couple games together. This team is capable of winning 10, 11 games in a row. Like, they have the roster, but with the defense, the way that they're going, I don't think that it's going to change, Mike. So My prediction would be Chuck Pagano starting tomorrow takes over. Not sure if that's something the Ravens will do, but to me, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's what happens.
Well, if you listen to the Ravens press conference after the game with John Harbaugh, he was asked about whether or not he would be thinking about releasing Zach Orr, and he said that is the last thing I'm thinking about, or last thing I'm worrying about right now. He wants to make sure they get in there together and work on fixing how to tackle and how to block and get off blocks. So it's back to the fundamentals this week, boys, for the Ravens, because that is clearly the only thing that's the problem. So I understand the coach speak, and I understand maybe not wanting to throw people under the bus. But, Jason, you make such valid points with – look, if you take the Pro Bowlers off of every NFL roster, I'm pretty sure that team's going to be pretty bad. And that's what you had in Baltimore this week. But the thing that disappointed me the most, and I think, Jason, why you think that Zo should maybe go is it is the lack of just compete that we have at the line of scrimmage. Defensively, we're not getting any push. We got a little more pressure on the quarterback with some blitzes. Having Van Noy back helped a lot on the defensive edge. But on the offensive line either, we're not pushing anybody back. And I know you love Project Pat or whatever you call him, fullback Pat guy. And I know he's important, John, but some of these linemen need to block too. Linderbaum was getting pushed 2-3 yards back, every time the ball was being snapped. And so you're seeing these guys need to block on the line of scrimmage and create holes for Derrick Henry. He was running into the line all day long. And then it's that snowball effect where Derrick starts to take the stutter step to find the hole. And then he's getting stopped 2-3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And it's just a snowball effect. When one person doesn't do their job, it looks horrible on the whole team. And then people try to do more to make up for it. And then you have everybody out of position on offense, on defense, and you have a fiasco like we saw today happening on the field. So I think it's a combination of coaching. I didn't like Jason. I texted you. I was like, why didn't we just take the ball to start the game? Like, if you know that your defense sucks right now, take the ball, try to score, take some pressure off that defense and the offense. If you're going to be down 7-0, you have your backup quarterback, you're going to be putting pressure on your offense right away. Now, they did a good job of going down and getting points. But you know what? I didn't understand that piece. Maybe they were just trying to play as conservative as possible with the squad that they had today.
Yeah, and you know what, though? They did have opportunities and then penalties, like undisciplined penalties. But can you blame these guys? Because when you're trying to you couldn't get pressure to the quarterback consistently. And then that puts your cornerbacks on an island. So then they're grabbing guys and trying to hold them down. And it's like it's a combination of crap because your backup corners are in there and they're left on an island, and then you can't get pressure. So the worst thing you can do, the worst thing that can happen to make a cornerback look bad is no pass rush. And I mean, just ask Frank Walker about that years and years and years ago. Okay. So if you can't get to the quarterback, that's what happens. Now, one thing I did want to say, though, Mike, you mentioned that they did get a little pressure today, and yes, they did get 2 sacks against the worst offensive line statistically in football. Every other team that the Texans have played have killed them up front. We cannot. And then on the other end of that, the defensive Texans are the real deal. And that defensive line is no joke. And they did the right thing through the draft by bringing those young guys in, and they're going to be pretty formidable for the next few years. So, I mean, good luck backup offensive line, not just with this team, but with every team down the road. This is hard for me because I don't want to sound like a homer, but guys, I'm not, and I'll start with you, John. I'm not ready to just toss in the towel yet. I'm still intrigued because I do know that this is a very, very talented roster when it's together. And not everybody's going to come back next week. But again, Stanley comes back potentially. Then you figure out what's going on with Ricard. Like all of a sudden, but the guys that are going to be iffy, like if they would have won this game, I wouldn't have expected Lamar, Stanley, like those guys probably back next week. Like give them the rest to the bye. But because they lost, I do expect them to potentially speed that process up. Then again, so I don't know where you stand with that, John. I'm not ready to throw in the towel on the season yet, but I'm very close. I mean, I'm getting there.
Yeah, I'm not, because I think, we go out and we win we're gonna have to win out, or at least win all of our AFC North games. That's going to be the thing is we're going to have to go beat Cleveland again at Cleveland. We're going to have to beat Cincinnati at home and away, and then Pittsburgh at home and away. And I think that's going to kind of be the thing that we have to do because I don't know if we're going to be able to survive and get through the wild card just because we're going to lose one of those games that we should have won and those sorts of things. But I'm not ready to throw the towel in just quite yet. But the question is what can the Ravens do to get these guys healthy? Is it we talked about this a few years ago when we had all of our literally every one of the running backs on our roster go down in the preseason. What does this or who does this all these injuries get attributed to? We have all these hamstring injuries. Like, is that a conditioning thing? Is that a strength and conditioning program? Is that a training thing? Is that just a freak fluke thing? Or is this something that also needs to be addressed on top of the coaching? And then you were talking about the penalties. I think the biggest penalty of the game was that offsides penalty on Kenyon Martin. Because if he doesn't go offsides there, they're pinned back, I believe, inside their 30, and they're punting to us. We get the ball back, right? But then they get that penalty. Then I think we get a pass interference penalty later in that drive, and they go and score a touchdown. I think that you mentioned the penalty. Sorry to get a little off track, but the penalties, I think that was the biggest penalty of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. It's a total momentum shifter. It's not good, for that. I mean, Mike, as far as what I asked John, I mean, are you ready to toss in the towel? Are you done? I mean, is there still a glimmer of hope there?
No, I'm not ready to throw in the towel yet, but I feel like we're really pigeonholing ourselves into a to win the division kind of deal right now because if you look at the standings, the Steelers are at 3-1, right? They lead the division. That's only a 2.5 game. They don't have that big of a lead on us right now at this point. If you can right the ship and somehow pull out a win next week at home versus the Rams, that puts you at 2-4. The Steelers are going to lose one here or there. You just have to be able to run the table and get these guys healthy, like you said, Jason. John, as far as the injuries are concerned, if it was a pattern, like last year we had the same exact thing and there was issues with that, then I would say maybe we should look into it. But I feel like we were fairly healthy last year. So to me, until we see there's more of a pattern with it, I would just say maybe it's a fluke and it kind of just sucks and the timing of it all because not only do they have all these injuries early on, but our schedule is just really tough early on. And all of it's kind of come together at the same exact time. The schedule lightens up a little bit after the bye, but they're not going to win the way they're playing football right now. We know that either way, regardless of who's on the field. They have to change some things about how they're playing. So we need to see some positive momentum moving forward. Whoever's able to suit up next week against the Rams, that's obviously if they dig their hole too deep, if they go 1-5, 1-6, I mean, think about it. You got to be 11-6 to make the playoffs, 10-7 at worst, probably. So, I mean, you're only giving yourself a margin of error that's so slim if you lose the next couple of games. Really hard to make a run like that.
So the only thing that I see in this situation is that with the Ravens, it's different. Like, do you remember when that Pittsburgh team made the playoffs? Like on the last day of the season, they needed like 4 or 5 teams to lose. I think it was Roethlisberger's last year. And then they were the sacrificial lambs to the Kansas City Chiefs. If the Ravens make it with a healthy-ish roster, like everyone comes back except for Matabike, right? They start turning around. They rattle off 8, 9, 10 win, whatever it is. And they sneak in as the last wild card. That is the most dangerous last wild card team in the NFL. And that's not the same situation as a team just sneaking in. But so much has to change. Philosophy has to change. I do think it's going to be the defensive coordinator has to change. They're giving up almost 40 points a game. Like after today's game, I'm pretty sure that 30-some point average just went up to almost 40 points. I don't think I'm exaggerating. Like that's crazy. Now, can they put that up? Absolutely. But that's not how you win football games. Like the Ray Lewis of the world and the Ed Reed, I mean, they're probably going nuts. But there's something going on with that philosophy. And I do wonder if someone had to sit John Harbaugh down after the game and be like, yeah, maybe ease off that one. I think we have to make a change.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if DaCosta has to step in or maybe even Steve Bisciotti needs to step in and start guiding this in the right direction. The other thing I wanted to point out, Jason, when you talked about positive momentum, they were talking about, I saw already a report, like people are interested in Mark Andrews on the trade market. So the other thing is if you get too far out of it, you start to think about the opposite end of things is just trading guys to get picks. So you got to be careful how far out of it you get, because as soon as you start to swing all the way the other direction, guess what? This team that has all this talent on it starts to change its dynamic and what it looks like, because you start to sell off some of those pieces that are, you might not be back next year.
Well, I think that the ones that would be on that list would be Mark Andrews, because he's going to be a free agent. So teams won't be hamstrung with any cap issues. I think I was going to say Marlon Humphreys. I do think there's a little bit of a cap thing in there, but it's not crazy. I was going to say Roquan, but he is owed so much money that I don't think they could do it. But I do think there's a way out of that contract. So I don't think he's back. If he's back next, it's either next year or the year after. I'd have to look at the numbers, but something frees up, and I think they will cut ties there. But Andrews, Derrick Henry to me seems like the obvious one. But then they're still in a position, even if they move those guys, they're still in a position to jump back and compete again next year. It's just the team looks a little different, right? You need a running back now because Justice Hill's great, but he's not your everyday running back. Keaton Mitchell's great, but he shouldn't be your between the tackles guy every time out there. So if that is the way they go, it's just like, this isn't like baseball where they could just move these guys and do a whole lot. And I think that, isn't the deadline like soon? Like, it's not like next week or the week after, is it? Like, it's before we start making a decision on this season, so I'm not so sure. Is it 8? It might be week 8 while we're
November 4th. November 4th.
Oh, okay.
November 4th at 4 p.m.
What week is that, John? Do you know?
Well, this is week 5. So I guess week 9.
Okay. So week 9. So right after the bye.
Yes.
Again, I mean, they might have an idea. They might have an idea now. So I don't know. I've never been really a fan of like trading in the NFL. I think it's rough. It's tough to come up with.
Well, Jason, I think the guy, and you didn't mention him yet, but I think Hopkins is playing pretty well. He's making good catches. He's playing pretty well. That I think he's a guy that, we can unload for a, 4th, 5th, 6th round pick, and, he could contribute to a playoff team. It seems like the Ravens always kind of pick up guys like this, kind of off the dumpster heap, and then somehow they end up being worth something to somebody.
I think you're looking at like a 6, maybe or a 7, maybe a 6, basically. At this point, just because he doesn't have anywhere that you can't justify his numbers for that. I think at this point, based on what Andrews has brought, the reason why they may not trade him is I think he brings you a 5th. If you would have traded him during the offseason, and they were shopping him during the offseason. Let's just be clear here. They just didn't want to trade him for a 4th or a 5th rounder, but that's what he will get. So it might make sense just to bring him back. If Likely doesn't do anything, maybe they let Likely walk. And then they end up signing Andrews for like another year or 2. And then you just draft another tight end. Like, why? At what point now, granted, Lamar wasn't out there today, but why do we think that Likely all of a sudden is healthy and deserves this $100 million contract? Like, I don't think he does yet. And what are we afraid of? Is this $100 million tight end going to save our season? Should we go ahead and sign him? Like, there's so many other issues right now. You can't get to the quarterback. John's guy, Mike Green, he's on a milk carton, for Christ's sake. Like, I don't know. And then Malachi Starks, I don't think I've heard that name in like 3 weeks. And that's okay.
He grabbed somebody's face mask today, I think.
Okay. Well, there you go. So he got some attention.
he got some airtime today. No, and I think I think it's likely, speaking of likely, that we're going to do something one way or the other at the trade deadline. The other thing you think of is if we can get a little positive momentum, could we do something to shore up that D-line a little bit? I'm just saying, the center of that D-line, losing Matabike, and he's out, right, Jason, for the entire season. So he's gone.
Maybe his career.
They mentioned that. They mentioned that this
sucks.
week, that he may be done. He may have to medically retire. They mentioned that. I don't know. Jason, where did you see that? I think it was on Facebook. It was on something.
It was all over. I listed all over the podcast. I mean, Kevin talked about it, that he didn't want to speculate too much, but it's definitely a possibility.
So
Well, you're
here's my
seeing
question.
you're seeing. Sorry, real quick, John. You're seeing what
Yeah.
he means to this team. Like
Right.
he stops the run up the middle, and Travis Jones is a great piece, and the young guy Peebles, he might have a future, and John Jenkins is a journeyman who's in there to help out, but like you're taking a linchpin away from this team. It's like taking Haloti Nada away from those defenses of the past. You can't do that and expect to compete. He's not keeping guys off of linebackers. He's not getting these guys aren't getting any pass rush up the middle. And our outside pass rush has always been garbage for the last few years, unless we're blitzing. So it's really not, it's not conducive for winning unless you do something to fix that defensive front. So I think either way, if they end up making a little bit of run, you're going to see a move one way or the other. Either they're losing and they trade somebody away, or they go on a little run and maybe they pick up a piece to add to that defensive line.
Well, let me
John,
ask
did you
you
have
guys. Yeah, I was going to say this. Like, I watched the Ravens pass rush, and it's almost just like a straight rush every time. There's no stunts. There's no movement. There's nothing like this. Then I see like the Texans, and I see, these other games, and the defensive linemen are moving all over the place. You have your outside guy coming in over the center. You have your tackle coming around against the tackle. But our guys just seem to always be kind of the same sort of one-on-one straight rush type of thing. So I'm really wondering, do we need to get a defensive line coach, a new defensive coordinator who's going to put some more schemes into this defensive line so that, Mike Green isn't just going 1-on-2 against the outside, that, Van Noy's not going 1-on-2 against the guys on the other side, that we're actually moving our defensive linemen around. We're being creative with the blitzes. Say what you want about Wink, but Wink seemed to always have people moving different directions to opening up blitz gaps, and we're consistently getting pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, but this defense is designed completely different. Like, this is an interior rush defense with the outside guys being able to beat their man and get there, but all their pressure is designed to come from the inside. So you take Matabike out of that. Broderick Washington got a decent contract a couple years ago and has disappeared. Travis Jones, he is not what everyone thought he was going to be. So it's like at this point, with the way that defense is set up, you would then have to change everything. You would have to change. Okay, so now, and I get it with you, John. Also, again, I'd like to just point out that those defensive linemen on the Texans are the best in the league. The two guys they have on the end, and they're top round draft picks. So they can do those things. They're young, they're fast, they're huge. And the Ravens don't have those guys. Mike Green is he's an undersized defensive end. Reminds me of Dwight Freeney. But it's like, and yes, he might be really good. And that was a good draft pick, I hope. But, right now, it's just as much as the guys out there, it's also philosophy. And if they don't make the changes based on who they have in there, and Mike, the one thing that makes me really nervous is that we get this false sense that you can compete, and then you start trading draft picks away but see, Eric DeCock, that's not his style. Like, he's not just going to, what he'll do? He'll go out and do what he did 4 or 5, 6 years ago when he brought Board in and all these other guys in because the team gave up 500 yards a game for the first 2 games. I could see that happening and completely change it, but I don't know who's out there. Or maybe,
It's interesting, Jason, because they brought in Eric Kendricks last week. I don't know if you saw that. They brought in a bunch of linebacker guys to audition, and they offered him a practice squad spot, but he turned it down. So I feel like they do need guys like that. And I think, John, that might even speak to what you were saying. You got this guy in the middle, Teddy Buchanan, who's a rookie with this green dot on his helmet. And then you're asking him now to run complicated defensive fronts where they're moving from place to I just think you're asking a lot of rookie guys. And it's just, I'm not saying it's anybody's fault, but the situation that they're in right now, you can't really, I think they probably have to simplify things a little bit to keep these guys in the right places because they're not even doing what they're supposed to do now. And now you're asking them to do more complicated movements and try to, and I'm not saying that wouldn't work, John. I'm just saying I worry about where they are right now with the injuries and all these guys, young guys stepping up to fill these holes. could they do something like that? I don't know. I'm not a football guy. Maybe they could, but I think that probably makes the communication piece a lot more complicated.
Yeah, and I don't. Again, I don't. I'm not a guy that thinks you need to go in and like heads have to roll and you got to fire a bunch of people. But if you're hoping to fix this, there's a clear. It's got to start at the top here. And I'm not talking about John Harbaugh. I'm talking about the one thing that John Harbaugh does by being someone that allows his coaches to coach. It also frees him up from being held responsible for one position over another. Like this isn't a guy like Kellen Moore who calls the plays as the head coach and the offensive coordinator. So now he's responsible for the offense too. John Harbaugh can say, okay, well, I can fire my coordinator. It also protects his job that way. So no one fool. Like I think that's by design. Like there's nothing there. So I do. I think Zach Orr needs to go, unfortunately. The problem was I think the plan was when Harbaugh was done coaching, he would be the head coach in waiting. I think that was the plan because when McDonald left, it was, oh, crap. Because that's who – I mean, I would have loved to have Mike McDonald as head coach, but you just came off an AFC visit, like an AFC championship visit, and you couldn't close the deal. Everyone knew Mike McDonald was gone. So, but that would have been the perfect thing. So they're like, oh, my gosh, we can't lose Zach Orr. They lost everyone. Anthony Weaver left. Like they lost every coach you possibly could left. So they wanted to make sure that they kept Zach Orr, and I do think that there were thoughts he'd be the head coach. That is no longer the case. So I don't know. What I think needs to happen is he needs to be removed from that position. And I think you give it to Chuck Pagano. He's got a great track record. Let him try it. Let him see what he can come up with. What are you going to lose? You're going to give up 50 points a game now? Like, I say give it a shot. At least that's where I stand.
I'm with you, Jay. I feel like if you fire John Harbaugh, who do you replace him with midseason, first of all? Because I don't think do you take Monken? You let Monken run the show? Like he seems like a coordinator to me. Like he's a great offensive mind. He runs the offense. He doesn't seem like he might be able to lead a team. I don't know. Maybe I'm painting him with the wrong brush. Azio had the same issue last year at the beginning of the year, and they brought in those other coaches like Pagano to help him out, and everything got fixed. There seems to be a pattern at the beginning of the year where we're struggling on defense, and Zio seems to be the common denominator. So I'm with you, Jay. Something's got to change, and they can't. If Harbaugh wants to keep his job, he's done this in the past. He's got to take care of getting rid of one of those assistants and finding somebody who can fix the problem.
Right. I mean, what's he going to say, guys, at the press conference? Last thing I'll say. What's he going to say at the press conference? Yep, I'm going to fire his ass. Like, we're done. Like, no. Like, no one in their right mind would ever do that. And no one, by the way, would come to work for somebody that would do that. So it'll get some things. I just got a feeling that they can't let it go. Just a couple highlights from today. I mean, there were some other interesting games so far today I guess it started in London with the Vikings and the Browns. Much closer than everyone anticipated. The Vikings did win. The Cowboys beat up on the Jets pretty good, 37-22. The Panthers did come back against the Dolphins, 27-24. Here's a team that I did not expect here. The Colts beating the Raiders, 40-6. Very interesting football team. Very complete football team. Should have won last week if it wasn't for bonehead play, fumble on the goal line with Mitchell out there in Indianapolis. The Saints, they won today 25-14 over the Giants. The Broncos beat the Eagles. I know that's painted as an upset. It wasn't an upset to me. I actually had the Broncos winning. Sean Payton in the month of October is pretty nasty if you look at his record. And going in, and Philadelphia it's hard to say that you need a loss, but they needed a loss to shake things up because I think those receivers are going to go crazy soon. But yeah, so Broncos did win 21-17. The Buccaneers pulled one out against the Seahawks with a late Sam Darnold interception, 38-35. The Titans won their first game today, and also lost me a survivor pick today because they beat the Cardinals 22-21. The Lions stay hot. They won 37-24 over the Bengals. And then the Commanders, they won today over the Chargers, 27-10, which to me is a pretty convincing win going across the coast. At some point during this offseason, they were my Super Bowl pick before I switched it over to the 49ers, which I'm still going to back that. But it's pretty impressive because the Chargers are a good football team as well. Tonight we have the Bills and the Patriots. Patriots traveling to Buffalo. And then tomorrow night, capped off with the Chiefs and the Jaguars. So that is your quick recap of the NFL for today. The next thing that we wanted to get to here, I mean, I guess I should just mention that our lives here as quote unquote podcast sports experts, we're not looking really good in the fantasy department on our fantasy league, guys. I'm pretty sure all three of us, Colin pointed this out to us, one of our loyal listeners and lifelong friend, that we are, all three of us, last place. One after the other after the other.
Well, I can't help that all my wide receivers are on the injured reserve. Every single one of them is on the injured reserve.
Well, you could have helped it by not taking 5 tight ends. You could have taken more.
Yeah, but look at my tight ends today. My tight ends today beat Frisky.
Well,
Is 9 points a game a good thing for your people? I'm not sure. I have a lot of 9s in this column. Derrick Henry, 9. AJ Brown, 9. Cam Ward, good quarterback, 9.
Are you speaking German?
I think it's German. 9.
No.
9. I think you should tell me 9. That's not good. No.
Oh my gosh.
But don't worry. ETN's up. He's coming up tonight. He's going to have a horrible game. He's going to score 9 points versus the Chiefs.
Tomorrow night.
We'll be good.
Tomorrow night, Mike.
That's right. Chiefs and Jags, Monday Night Football.
I got cooked.
I'm in trouble.
Tonight.
I feel bad losing to John. I don't worry about losing to anybody else, but losing to John hurts me.
Well, I mean, I tell you, yeah, I am looking at your scores here. John is predicted to win 108-93, so we'll see how that goes. I am against a juggernaut again. I played Dave Merritt. I scored like 150 points last week. He scored 190. I'm like, great, awesome, cool, great time. And then I got hit hard by the bye week this week, and then I just got a notification that Worthy is on the is questionable now, which is awesome. So I got that to deal with, but I am currently losing 114-100 and predicted to lose 144-135. So it's a close one. But all my other leagues, I mean, I'm doing just fine. Like Mike, we're in another one together. I think I put up like another 180 points here with my whole, like, I don't take quarterbacks early normally. I got Justin Fields in like the 13th, 14th round, and he scored 30 points every single week he's played. So
yeah,
it's just
we're first and second in that one league that you got me into this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I score a lot of points because there is money though in that one for whoever scores the most points, and then who also wins the playoffs. So
nice.
Yeah. So I mean that's that. I mean I'm in a lot of fantasy leagues. For the most part, I'm still alive and everything. I'm in first place in a couple. Blah blah blah. Keeps me busy. All that.
How about I give you a couple quick questions, Jason?
Yeah.
You're you're a local fantasy expert. Rico Dowdle went off today. Is that a thing, or is that just a Chubba Hubbard one week replacement? What's going on?
It's a 1 week replacement, potentially, unless this Hubbard thing, if he needs like a little more rest. I don't know when their bye week is, but it's definitely someone that if you have him on your roster, you're not getting rid of him. I picked him up in a couple leagues because I late in the week found out that, I mean, Hubbard was dealing with this injury last week too, but he ended up playing through it. But when you have someone like Dowdle like that you can plug in, they're just going to ride it. So keep him on your roster. Don't drop him. But it's probably just as long as Hubbard's not playing, you want to play him.
All right, real quick. Travion Henderson, running back for the Patriots, starting to get a little bit more play. Caleb Johnson got a few more carries last week, and Judkins had a pretty good week. I think he had over 100 yards in London today. Of those three guys, which one do you think has the most upside?
Judkins, hands down. I mean, it's because Cleveland can still run the football, and they're still like, I don't want to say they're in it, but if they're going to be successful, they need to run the ball. And the difference is like Caleb Johnson, it's like I dropped him, just to be quite frank, in a few leagues, just the redraft leagues, not in Dynasty. But dropped him for like Woody Marks, somebody like that's going to get a lot more play. And then who was the other one you mentioned?
Travion Henderson.
Travion Henderson. So that's so tough because Ramondre Stevenson, like they're just doing a two-headed monster, but it's heavy on Ramondre right now. If he gets injured, though, it's time to pay attention to Henderson. But I mean, right now it's a tough one. You don't want to drop him if he's on your roster, but I mean, as far as like Judkins goes, he's the one you want.
Yeah, I think the question I have, the last one is quarterback wise. We also have a listener who has a question, but question for quarterback. We had some quarterback injuries with Lamar going down, and you have Joe Burrow going down in Cincinnati. If you need that emergency quarterback, you need to find somebody on the waiver wire. You need to find somebody to fill in a hole for a while or for the long term. Is there a place you would turn right now?
Yeah. So let me just pull up just to kind of get an idea.
I mean, is Carson Wentz a good solution, or is he just an adequate backup maybe?
I mean, if you're really struggling, I mean, it's a well-coached team out there. I would stay away from the Cincinnati quarterback, Browning. Wentz isn't a bad one. It's like Tua's out there still. He's going to get you some points. You want to ride it until he bucks you. It's Sam Darnold's out there, guys. Shouldn't be. So he might be one that can win you a couple weeks, bye weeks, injuries. That would be my number one priority if he's still out there. I mean, last year I had Sam Darnold in a league that I also had, Purdy. And Purdy got hurt halfway during the year. So I went against what I believe, and I carried them both. If Daniel Jones, for some odd reason, is still out there because somebody dropped him, or Caleb Williams is out there because someone dropped him on a bye week and he had a bad, not so good week before it, grab those guys. Those guys have the potential of being quarterback ones before the end of the year within the top 12. So, yeah, I mean, Tua, Sam Darnold, and then always look at your waiver wire and see if anybody's dropping anyone because of bye weeks. That's really dumb.
Yeah. Awesome, Jay. I appreciate it. And so one of our listeners, Nancy Hewitt, who I actually taught with at Edgewood years ago, she brought up, hey, how about that rookie Brinkman kid with the Texans? So you might know this lady, the athletic director, Debbie Brinkman, Jason, who we played co-ed, old person football with. Her son is now the long snapper for the Houston Texans, and that unit looked really good today in the Texans-Ravens game. So as much as I hated the fact that we got destroyed, I was happy to see Austin do such a great job as a long snapper, and it looked like they had a great little routine going there in Houston.
John Carroll kid, I believe, right?
Yeah, John Carroll High School, yep, in Harford County, went to West Virginia, and was drafted by the Texans this year.
Outstanding. Well, that is just fabulous. Local hero turns good, Mike. Local hero turns good. All right. Well, next, John, do you have a fun, exciting ballpark figures for us today?
I do. I had one that I had to work really, really hard on.
Oh, boy.
And I think it's going to challenge you guys to really think outside the box.
Anytime we give John too much time, we're in trouble, Jason.
Okay. Why do we give you free will?
Okay, so here's the category. Touchdown pass leaders by non-quarterbacks in the modern era.
I strongly dislike you.
I have another one up my sleeve if you want a little easier, Jason.
I mean, Mike, do you want to go down this road or do you want to do the other one?
I don't know. I might be able to name like two people who threw a touchdown. It wasn't like Derrick Henry threw a few.
I was going to say that the punter that always throws touchdowns. Yeah. But that's it. What's the other one you got, John?
ESPN did that punter. The story on that.
That one took me a while because I had to go through this list, and like the list is like all people from like the 30s and 40s. The other one is all-purpose yards in a career.
Okay, we can do that. Let's do that one, and then I don't want to say we'll do the other one because we could look it up. But
how about you just tell us some of the other ones so we can have fun with that together?
Yeah. So here's the list, and I had to go through this list and pick these people out. LaDainian Tomlinson has 7 touchdown passes.
So 7's the most?
7's the most in the modern era. In the modern era. God. Like in 1927 to 1934, Benny Friedman was a tailback and had 66. But LaDainian Tomlinson in the modern era of like 1970 and to today has the most.
Okay.
With 7. Then former and then there's a tie for next is 6. Marcus Allen, Keith Byers, and former Indiana quarterback Antoine Randall L has 6.
Mm-hmm. And
Then it is Derrick Henry, Dalton Hilliard, Dave Meggett, and Mohamed Sanu with 4.
I think Amendola is probably on there too, Mike.
Nope.
Oh, he could be.
He's not.
Oh, really?
Jerome Bettis, Ernest Biner, Jacoby Myers, Clinton Portis, and Terry Kirby all have 3.
Oh, that's so funny. Wow.
You guys probably wouldn't have gotten any of those.
No, maybe
I got Derrick Henry. 1 for 1, baby.
If I thought about it, Antoine Randall makes perfect sense. I get that.
Yes. But like Jerome Bettis is on the top of that list. I mean, it's like 3. There's a ton of people with 3.
Well, you got to think of the coaches that do those gadget plays. Like Vrabel got that from Belichick, and like that tree likes to do some gadgetry. So, and Cowher like to do some stuff like that. That's why you got Antoine Randall L and Bettis on there.
Right. Well, then you have like Amendola has 2.
Right. All right. Well, let's do the other one because we do have to kind of speed things up just a little bit here as we do have limited time.
All right. So, according to ProFootballReference.com, all-purpose yards leaders in a career.
Okay. Mike, what about like Marshall Faulk?
Yep, he was the first name I was going to say.
Marshall Faulk is number 8. There is 1 Raven on this list.
What about Tomlinson? I think he's on there.
Yeah, that would be one I would think of.
10. LaDainian Tomlinson is number 10. So Marshall Faulk is number 8. LaDainian Tomlinson is number 10.
Would Jamal Lewis, Mike? Like, would that be the Raven?
Oof.
It's not a Raven you would think is on. I'll tell you, it's not Jamal Lewis. It's a Raven that you wouldn't think is on this list.
Would it be Priest Holmes, Mike?
I mean, he could have. He didn't play that long, but he.
That's the thing is these guys mostly have played at least.
What about Frank Gore?
At least 10 years. At least, well, no. Yeah, at least 10 years in the league.
Frank Gore?
Frank Gore should be on there.
Yes, Frank Gore is number 5. He played 16 seasons with 5 teams.
Mike, would Emmitt Smith?
Oof, that's a good one. I like that. He had so many rushing
Smith
yards.
Is number 4.
Yeah. I mean,
what about Edgerrin James?
Yeah, I mean, you have to think like the all-time leading rushers, like, too, because they're going to also catch passes.
Yeah.
What about Edgerrin James, John?
No, or maybe
James.
Oh, he's looking down, so probably not.
Is not in the top. He's number 28 on this list with 15,610.
What about Walter Payton?
Tomlinson is number 10 with 18,456.
What about
Walter Payton or Eric Dickerson? Yeah, one of the. Yeah, I think Walter Payton.
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton is number 3 on this list.
Okay, so Walter Payton's So the top 2 all-time leading rushers in the NFL are they? I mean, like Emmitt Smith's up there. Walter Payton's up there. Who else is up there? Just trying to think.
So there's. Let me just give you this. Okay. There are 2 wide receivers, 2 wide receivers, a Swiss Army knife, and then a bunch of running backs. Or no, 3 wide receivers, a Swiss Army knife, and then running backs.
Oh, about Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
Yes, Jerry Rice is number 1 with 23,546.
Sorry, I'm looking for a charger to plug in my computer.
No, you're good. I'm trying to.
So there's one Raven on this list. There's 1 Raven on this list.
How about Anquan Bolden? Maybe, I don't know.
Ooh.
He got a couple carries back in the day, but I don't know if he had enough time. John loves Steve Smith, but that's not going to be the answer.
Oh. Maybe all-purpose yards means return yards too, right?
Means receptions, rushes, and return yards.
Steve Smith.
John loves that guy. We could guess it.
What about Steve Smith, John?
Steve Smith is the Raven on this list. Number 9. 19,180.
That's the only reason
you're missing a wide receiver, a running back, and a Swiss Army knife.
How far back are these recent?
Recent, yeah, within the last 30 years.
Okay.
Is Marvin Harrison? Do you think he just because of his receptions, or do you think he's not enough? Who else would be a receiver that could possibly go
if I'm thinking of that era, I'm thinking of like Marvin Harrison. I'm thinking of Tim Brown. I'm thinking of Randy Moss, Terrell Owens.
Yeah, maybe Larry
Fitzgerald. He's like a big reception guy.
Yeah, but he didn't do much returning or anything like that. So
you said, wait, one receiver, one running back?
One receiver, one running back, and then one Swiss Army knife.
So the Swiss Army knife, you don't think it's Devin Hester, Mike, do you? With all the return yards?
Did he have enough of the other types of yards to make up for it? That's what I don't know.
Absolutely not.
How about Debo's doesn't have enough time in the league yet, probably, right? So, but that kind of player, though, is I guess what he's looking for. Somebody who could do a little bit of everything.
I don't know why I'm thinking Tim Brown so much, but I don't know. Or T.O. What do you think about T.O.?
I think he had a lot of yards.
John? Terrell Owens?
Strike 2. Terrell Owens is number 23 with 16,276.
That one hurts.
So you want some hints?
Sure.
One of these gentlemen played at the University of Notre Dame and played with Jerry Rice.
Tim Brown.
Yes. Tim
How
Brown.
did you see that 7. One, Mike?
you mentioned it. I think 7 with 19,682. One of these guys won a Super Bowl with Drew Brees. And one of these guys.
The little running back. Who's the little guy? Did he go to Kansas State? The running back that played with Drew Brees?
Not Sproles.
Yeah, it wouldn't be Sproles, would it?
No. How about if you're talking about Drew Brees, it's not a Colston, is it? No, he wouldn't have had enough.
No.
Who else would have played with Drew Brees? Gates, Colston. Oh, man. Was it a running back, John, or is it a tight end? Are we looking for what's
Jason,
that?
I think you just said his name.
Darren Sproles?
Yes. Darren Sproles is number 6 with
sure.
19,696.
Okay.
Then this other guy was on one of our other lists as well. One-time Pro Bowler, one-time Super Bowl champ, one-time All-Pro. He was drafted by the Redskins in 1990. He played for Washington, Philly, and the New York Football Giants. Technically, he was a running back, but he played.
Is he the returner, Jason, that you came up with the other day? Remember that returner we were looking for?
It wasn't not David Maggott, right? I don't think he played.
Maggott played for the
Giants,
the Patriots,
and the Giants.
Won
a Super Bowl with the Giants.
Went to Towson University.
Yeah.
Yes, you said him the other day. He was on one of our other lists.
What positions he play?
Technically, he's a running back, but
not Santana Moss, is it?
No, not that early. He said 1990, right?
No, that's too early.
Yeah. You would know him on the Redskins and the Eagles.
When was he drafted? 1990?
1990. He played 13 years in the league, 1990 to 2003, for the Redskins, the Eagles, and then one season with the Giants.
Not Lewis. It's not Lewis, is it?
No, you said mainly a running back, right?
He was technically a running back, but he was a huge returner and did other things as well.
Oh, Mike, it was it wasn't Mitchell, was it?
Brian Mitchell?
Was it Brian Mitchell?
Yes, Brian Mitchell.
All right.
Brian Mitchell is number 2 all time with 23,330 all-purpose yards.
Fantastic. Well done. I like this list a lot better than the other list, John. You did well.
I thought so.
Did you guys see how empty the stadium was? Did you see Dan's note here?
What do you say?
He just said, checking in a little late. I'm officially 0-2 in Ravens games this year. Just paid $150 less per ticket today than do the Lions game for just about the same quality seat. Everyone that didn't leave at the half definitely walked out with me in the middle of the third. And I texted you guys in the group chat. I said, it looks awful empty in that stadium and 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like you can't blame people, you know? I mean, it's, you know, you don't have all day to sit around and hope that something's going to change. And, like, if the product isn't there, you're not going to keep doing it. So just something to keep in mind there, Orioles and Ravens front office people. But speaking of Orioles, since I talked to you guys last, the season is officially over now. I'm sure you guys have been talking about them. But they have quite the busy offseason to come here, guys. The one thing I wanted to touch on, and I just wanted to briefly touch on this stuff because I still wanted to talk about just do a quick highlight of the Major League Baseball playoffs as well. But they have a managerial search going on. And some names are going all over the place. The big one that's off the board already, which I guess was the biggest unkept secret, was Schumacher going to be the Rangers manager, and he was already in-house. So the same rules don't apply. You don't have to wait to the end of the season because he's still under the organization's tenure there. So that was actually, he might have been one of the top ones on my list based on stuff. I'm kind of so all over the place with it still, guys. And Mike, I'll start with you because I don't know what the Orioles are looking for. Are they looking for an analytical-based first-time manager? Are they looking for what Connor Newcomb said from Locked On Orioles when he came on our show, that he thought at the time that they would be interested in a current sitting manager right now?
All right. I did a little exercise, Jason, because I just had a professional development in artificial intelligence the other day where I was told about the shortcomings of AI and what to look for and how to use it properly. So I went to ChatGPT and I asked them, what should the Orioles be considering in a manager? So let's just see what they had to say real quick. Okay. All right. Just bear with me on this one, boys.
You're hanging out with John too much.
Youth and development. The roster is young and full of high upside players like Holiday, Henderson, Westberg. A manager who can work well with young talent. Analytical buy-in. Given the front office style, the manager must be comfortable blending modern metrics with traditional in-game management. Organizational continuity. Someone who can align with Elias's philosophy and be a collaborator, not a rebel, is likely to get more consideration. Track record and upside. The Orioles might consider someone with prior managerial experience or an up-and-comer who has shown promise, especially in the minors, and timeliness because managerial openings tend to get snapped up quickly. The Orioles have already talked about having to operate ASAP. So that is what ChatGPT says. I tend to agree with a lot of what they said. I would like to see them act quickly, as we've talked about before. Is there going to be a general manager hiring before there's a managerial hiring? It doesn't seem that way, Jason. But you have a lot of guys who were let go recently, right? So you have Bob Melvin, Ron Washington, Rocco Baldelli, Bruce Bochy, Brian Snicker, Dave Martinez. So a bunch of names out there in addition to what we had talked about previously. What are you guys thinking?
Well, so Snicker actually is in the front office now in Atlanta. So he decided to stay in the organization. Not at all interested in Snicker anyway, just so you know. I feel like, or Dave Martinez, I feel like those were lightning in a bottle guys that caught lightning in a bottle. Rocco Baldelli is interesting to me because of winning with an organization that didn't do anything for him. Very intriguing there. Melvin, two-time manager of the year, great. But the last two stops he was at, and he had a lot of talent in San Diego and whatnot, it didn't go well. Not too interested there. There is one guy that I am very, very interested in as of today when I was doing research, but I don't know if it fits the philosophy. I'm gonna save it for a second. But there's still I'm still struggling with the fact that are they going to go with a first timer or not? But the guy that I think would be good to develop the young talent, I'm not so sure because he had a health scare and he wasn't there, is Ron Washington. For me, a guy that's been to the World Series twice with a Texas team that did have a lot of talent, but it didn't buy itself all of this talent And like, they weren't like the biggest spending team in all of baseball. It had a good payroll, but it had like Nelson Cruz on it and Adrian Beltre, Elvis Andrews, like guys that were there for a long time. Josh Hamilton. But those are guys, like, again, they weren't I don't believe they were the highest payroll in baseball, but these guys ended up making a lot of money because they were good players, right? And they retained their talent. Bruce Bochy to me was intriguing for a while, but I don't know what happened the last 2 years. And the Rangers spent so much money to bring in. I think they spent $500 million on Simeon and Seager, just 2 players. Then they spent money to bring in DeGrom. So it's like, okay, and then he managed that type of talent. I don't know how he would do here, John. So to me, I like Ron Washington. I don't even know if the Orioles are even interested in him.
Yeah, I like the Rocco Baldelli because he knows the AL East. He's played in the AL East. He played for the Rays for an extended period of time. I really like that name. He knows how to do it kind of in a small market area like he did with the Twins. And I really like that. But I do also like kind of the older experience sort of guiding hand of the Ron Washington. I think of the guys that we just said were available, I think those 2 should be at the top of the list. I'm hearing and I've read that Carlos Beltran's name is floating around there just because of his relationship with Elias, which I wouldn't say no to Carlos Beltran. I think he was a great player. I think he knows the game. I think he'd be a very valuable tool. But my question is, are they going to find a guy like who's going to kind of take both roles, which I don't think they're going to do, but they're going to find a more experienced guy who can do some of the general manager's duties, who can take those things as well, or are they going to find a first-time guy, and then bring in a general manager who can work with that first-time guy and kind of put the roster together, which I think remains to be seen. But I do like the Ron Washington or Rocco Baldelli out of the guys who are available right now, but I would love to see Carlos Beltran. I think Carlos Beltran would be my first pick out of the bunch, and then I don't know what they're going to do about GM, but kind of maybe find the manager and then figure out the GM to match with the manager after that. I don't know.
But before I go to Mike here, I just want to address the GM situation real quick. Guys, it's irrelevant. It really is. Like, you couldn't tell that more. If you listen to his press conference, you couldn't tell that anymore. Like, I think it is a position that they are hoping to bring into the front office at some point. They may even move someone within their front office into that position to just strengthen the front office. I don't think Elias's role is going to change. I don't think anything. It might take some things off of his plate as like a figurehead, but it's not going to change what they do this offseason whatsoever. So to me, I wouldn't get too worked up over the general manager thing. At least that's what I've kind of got from the situation. So Mike, your opinion. Do you want the Ron Washington, the Rocco Baldelli? Do you want Carlos Beltran, or do you want him to bring back Buck?
I love Buck. I like our guys. No, I think for me, I'm really intrigued by Bruce Bochy. I know they're both Bochy and Washington are old. they're upwards of 70 years old. So, I mean, I say that with the most kindness, but both of them are upwards of 70 years old. I know how I feel at age 40, but I love Bochy's track record. I mean, the man has won 4 World Series championships, 3 with San Francisco and 1 with Texas. He won an NL pennant with the Padres. He spent 12 years with the Padres, 13 years with the Giants, and 3 years with the Rangers. What I like about a guy like Bruce Bochy is he kind of brings that track record that you just can't argue with. And it's something that the young players will automatically respect. It's just automatic respect. I think we need a hardened guy in here. And Washington has some of those qualities, Jason. A hardened guy in here that the players will naturally respect, a baseball guy who's been doing it for 30 years. I think Bochy is 28 years, something like that. He's been doing it for that many years and has been in all of the battles and been in the big playoff moments and seen teams that were in last place, seen teams that were in first place, and kind of done it all. And just to respect that piece. And I want to see how we do with a manager like that. I just would like to see that because we've tried Hyde, the younger guy. We had Buck, who was a journeyman. Now I want to see a hardened veteran who's won a World Series in here, and let's see if he can't turn this ship around. A little bit of that old school mentality mixed with a little bit of that Elias mentality, I think would be a really good recipe for success here in Baltimore. If they could find a way to work together and kind of mesh those things, I think it would be awesome.
Yeah, and you know what though, guys, like as like next time we talk and whatnot, we'll talk about the rest of the offseason, who they're bringing in and whatnot. Just wanted to touch on the managers today, but what I'm getting from everyone here, including us, is the culture of winning within the organization and doing things the right way. When Buck came in here, that's what changed everything, right? Like, this is how you do it. This is how we're going to do things. And it turned into winning. Bochy, Washington, even Baldelli to a point. Like, we want guys in here, all three of us, that have won before. Not necessarily, for me, won the World Series, because there aren't a whole lot of guys out there that have done that. Like I said, Dave Martinez won a World Series. I don't want him anywhere near this team. It's just not my schnicker. Like, don't really want him here. Like, not what I'm looking for. And I don't think Dusty Baker's coming out of retirement. I don't need the yell in your face type guy, the old school manager. It's just adaptability and winning. Like, you've won before. Guys are going to get lured into that. And that's what I think that's a big thing. So I could see them. Elias seemed very intrigued when asked that question, that if it played a role, is it important to him to get experience? And he was like, oh, by all means, like essentially is what he said. So he's very intrigued by that. I would be shocked, guys, to be honest, if they brought any first-time manager here. Sorry, John, that does mean no Carlos Beltran. But does it though, Mike? Because now that I think about it, if they did bring in Carlos Beltran, yes, he's a first-time manager, but he's had a winning culture. So, but he's never run a clubhouse before. So then that's where I'm kind of.
Well, if I'm Mike Elias, though, and my whole career depends upon one person, I'm going to find someone who's done it before. Like, I don't know. I maybe I like Carlos Beltran, and I think he's going to be a great manager. He better be really sure if he's going to bring in Carlos Beltran to do the job. And to me, like I said, the Bochy move for me. Similarly, he worked with Schumacher, who everybody likes as well, obviously down in Texas. And I think that Bochy didn't have all-star studded teams in the Giants. I mean, he had Tin Lincecum, he had the catcher in Buster Posey, but like a lot of the pieces around those teams were kind of role player pieces. And I feel like that's the Yeah, I mean, at Mad Bomb, they had an ace, but I'm saying a lot of the position players are very similar to what we have here in Baltimore. If you think about the makeup of the teams that won in the 2012, 2014, and 20, they won the even years, right? 2012, 2014, and 2016. So to me, again, that intrigues me.
And
well, here's the thing. I just read this, guys. Sorry, Jason, to interrupt, but
hold on one second, John. I just want to read. Dan said that Beltran was the arranger, the leader, organizer of the trash can thing. I don't buy it. I think he was the fall guy. I think it was arranged by a lot of the players on the field, and the coaches kind of took the hit for it. So I don't buy it. I could be wrong. No one's ever going to admit to it. It's over with, blah, blah, blah. There was all kinds of cheating and whatnot. But go ahead, John. What are you saying?
Well, I was looking up something else, and this popped up, was that the Orioles players are vouching for Mancelino, hoping that he comes back.
Right.
Jackson and Gunnar and Rushman. And I'm just like,
John, what are they going to say? It's the same thing. And I don't mean to cut you off, but it's the same thing that Harbaugh did with his press conference. What are they going to say?
No, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying too. Is I don't think Mancelino should even be in the list of things. I mean, did he do well? Yeah, he was above 500, but he's not. Just from what I can see and what I've read, he's not a major league manager right now. We need a guy who's been there and won, had experience at winning. He hasn't had experience at winning. So the Ron Washington is probably, if you want the winning guy, I know he had a little problem with cocaine and a few other things when he was in Texas. And, little things, but didn't we all? So you guys remember that?
But like with Mancelino, he had his interview was this season. He did just fine with what he had. Okay. if they may give him, they're going to give him an interview to do him a favor, give him some practice in interviewing. And I mean, he has won everywhere he went. He did well with Cleveland's organization in the minor leagues. So yeah, I mean, maybe one day he's young. He's still in his 40s, like he's our age. So, or Mike and I's age, not you, John. You're still in your teens. But so I'm fine with the interview. I'm cool with it. But if they bring him back, it's waving the white flag that all hell's broken loose and we're going straight away.
They can check a box and interview him, but
Sure.
that should be about it with that. Just check the old box. Hey, back to the Giants again, because I really think Buster Posey should be our manager. Not Buster Posey, Bruce Bochy.
Bruce Bochy?
So look at the lineup, right? You got Buster Posey. There's your Adley Rutschman. Brandon Belt. There's Kobe Mayo. Ryan Theriot at second base. I don't know anything about him. We got Brandon Crawford, who played a good shortstop. There's your gunner. Pablo Sandoval. There's Westy.
Hold on, let me stop you. Gunner is a million times better than Brandon Crawford. Brandon Crawford is like Omar Vizquel, but with pop.
Hey, he was an all-star in 2012.
Right. Oh, 100%. Good ball player.
Yeah. Melky Cabrera, Angel Pagan, and Hunter Pence in the outfield. Now, pretty good outfield. We have to do it. We have talked about needing an upgrade, and we won't go into that, Jason, because I know we got to move on. We need an upgrade in the outfield, but similar roster. Obviously, their pitching staff with Matt Cain and Mad Baum and Zito and some of those guys were a little bit better than what we have right now. But no reason that Trevor Rogers and Kyle Bradish, and if we get a couple guys in here, we can't match that.
Right. Yeah. No. I agree 100%. I mean, I think we're all in agreement. Like either way. They want to bring in those guys and Rocco and whatnot. But I mean, just so you know, I believe Ron Washington had a quadruple bypass in June. So I'm not 100% sure that this is even a possibility. He did say that he wants to get back into managing. The Angels just cut. And again, he turned around the Rangers. He helped. He's done well everywhere he's going. He's a very well-respected guy in baseball. People love him. The Angels thing, the Angels are a terrible organization. They don't know how to build their farm system. They bring their guys up the same year they draft them. I mean, they're a mess. So I don't have I don't think
you have Mike Trout for a decade and you can't make the playoffs. How is that possible?
You wasted him and Pajolis. Okay, Albert. And that's another thing. Last thing I want to say, because we do need to get to our game here potentially. But Albert Pujols is getting an interview with the Angels. I mean, one day these managers, these players turn manager immediate in the manager for their first year somebody's going to break through and be super successful. But I'm not sure who.
Yadier Molina. I want Yadier Molina behind the controls of the Baltimore Orioles.
I think people will riot in St. Louis if that happens, because I think he's on their list of
but
people.
I'll tell you what, this is the guy that I think would be very interesting, just before we just finish this, would be Jason Varitek.
Oh, you've been saying it for months.
I know. I love Jason Varitek. I think he's Adley Rutschman's father in another life, because they're basically the same player. And I think Varitek would be a great manager.
I mean, I am intrigued by the former ball players, guys. I really am, like the younger guys. But I do think that we need a winning culture. Again, not necessarily a World Series, but guys that have been there and they can change your entire clubhouse and point guys in certain directions. And then they'll bring in guys on their staff that have just as much experience. Not first timers like Buck Britton, like anyone like thinking that he should be our manager. We're going backwards, guys. We're trying to move forward here. Mike, I do have a question about your game so that we can choose this next segment, because we are on limited time. Is this a long game or a shorter game? Perfect.
Short game.
All right, go ahead. Tell us what kind of new game we playing.
This is called Fast Break Trivia. Okay. So look, real simple here, boys. You have 1 minute to answer the list of questions. Okay. You get to choose between list 1 and list 2, and there's only 2 rounds, and whoever gets the most is the winner. So it's real easy. And you can rock, paper, scissors here live on air to see who gets list 1 or list 2. You can get to choose. Even Cole could rock, paper, scissors if you wanted to. And we'll figure out what's going on there. And you can choose that. And then round 2, we'll do the same exact thing. So the round 1 is going to be the Ravens mix, and round 2 is going to be the Orioles mix. So rock, paper, scissors, boys. You ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, shoot. Oh, scissors cuts paper, John. So, Jason, do you want Ravens mix 1 or Ravens mix 2?
Oh, I thought I got to choose the Orioles. I don't get to choose the
Nope,
Orioles.
you get to choose one. Well, you'll get to choose Orioles next, 1 or 2. Whoever
okay.
wins the rock, paper, scissors round 2.
Okay, I'll do Ravens mix 1.
All right, Ravens mix 1. Here is the trivia tonight.
Do
I
need
am
to set a
giving you
timer,
the
Mike?
player. What's that?
Do I need to set a timer?
You know what? I don't think we need the timer. Let's just keep it rolling quick. I'll just go as fast as I can. John, what you need to do is count right answers for me, okay? All right. Yeah, I don't know if you have enough fingers, but we'll try. Jason's pretty good. All right. So here it is. I'm giving you a player. You're telling me their jersey number. You ready?
Oh, boy.
Lamar Jackson.
8.
Rasheen Ali.
Oh, man.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
41.
Mark
steal
Andrews.
these?
No.
Can I steal?
Mark Andrews. Quiet down, John. Mark Andrews.
89.
Good. Chidobe Awuzie.
3.
Correct. Rashad Bateman.
7.
Good. Jalen Armour Davis.
Oh, God, I don't even 24.
No. Bo Braid.
Oh, God. 40, 45. I don't
No. Teddy Buchanan.
40?
Yep. Corey Bullock.
Oh, Jesus. What are you doing? 47.
Nope. And Ben Cleveland.
Oh, boy. DUI. 68.
Close, but not quite.
Point,
All right.
point 1-0.
How many did he get? 5?
5. Yes.
All right. You got 5, Jason.
I'm ready.
John, did you know any of those?
Yes.
Who did you know?
Ollie is number 26.
That's right. Did you know
And then,
Jalen Armour Davis?
Jalen Armour Davis. He's 5.
Yep. Are you
Ooh.
looking at what is he looking at, Jason? Check his
my
screen.
hands
I have
are
no
up.
idea.
Bo Braid.
Is Bo Braid 28? No.
Nope. 25. And Corey Bullock?
53.
Nope. 67. And Ben Cleveland?
60.
Nope. 66. All right. John, you get Ravens mix number 2. Jason, let's count John's right answers. You ready?
Got it.
Marlon Humphrey.
44.
Correct. Isaiah Likely.
80.
Travis Jones.
95.
Wrong. Mike Green.
Ha!
40.
What?
40. 3.
Wrong. Charlie Kohler.
88.
Correct. Pat Ricard.
Oh, shoot. I should know this.
5.
Pat Ricard,
4.
47. No, I don't know.
Wrong. Odafe Owe.
99.
Correct. TJ Tampa.
23.
Wrong. Keon Martin. Not Kenyon Martin, who played center for the Nets, what you said earlier. Anyway.
28.
No.
28.
No.
Oh,
Ronnie
no,
Stanley.
shoot. 78.
Wrong. All right. How many did John get?
4.
All right. Jason is winning 5-4. Jason, did you know, let's see, Travis Jones?
Is it 98?
That's correct. Mike Green. How did he not know Mike Green's number?
15?
No, 45.
Hmm.
Pat Ricard,
Oh, God, I don't even know.
42.
Mm-mm.
He's my age. So
That slipped my mind.
TJ Tampa,
No clue.
27. Keon Martin, not Kenyon Martin,
No idea.
38.
Oh, 35.
John, you were
I
close.
just said that today. God, I knew that. 'cause
And
I
Ronnie
just
Stanley.
said it.
79.
Yeah, that's correct. 79.
79.
All right. So rock, paper, scissors here. You guys do it on your own. I screwed it up last time. You ready?
Ready?
Jason,
One.
put your hands up.
All right.
All right,
There
Jason. There we go.
1, 2, 3, shoot. I win.
Paper covers rock, John. Jason, do you want Orioles mix 1 or Orioles mix 2?
He tried to cheat. Look at him. I'll do Orioles mix 2.
All right. Same idea here. I'm giving you a player. You're giving me the jersey number. You ready?
Got it.
Gunnar Henderson. John, you're counting.
Oh God, how do I not know this? Oh, this is terrible. Is it?
5,
Oh, I don't
4,
even know.
3, 2.
Oh,
Give
I'm
me a
terrible at
guess.
baseball. 12?
Nope.
Yeah.
Heston Kjerstad.
Oh, who cares? 13.
Yep. Good job. Chase McDermott.
Oh God. 72? I don't even.
Nope. Tomoyuki Sagano.
35, 34,
Nope.
32.
That's how old he is, probably. But Charlie Morton.
40.
Nope. Andrew Kittredge.
I'm really bad at numbers. 30, 37.
Close. Nope. Jose Castillo, the one that we didn't want.
I have no clue. I don't.
All right.
48.
Nope. Yarmil Geraldo.
Oh my God. 53.
It got bad for a while this year, boys. Sir Anthony Dominguez, who just pitched tonight, I saw in Toronto.
Was he 50?
Close. And Tyler Wells.
Oh. I don't know. 54?
Nope. 6. Nope. Can't tell you. All right.
It's
Here we
still
go.
well.
How many did you get?
1?
1.
Yeah.
What?
All right. So you're at 6, Jason. So that's good.
No, fabulous.
right. John, did you know Gunner?
2.
2.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I was doing this, Jason.
I knew it had a 2 in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. Chase McDermott?
Was he 47?
Nope. 59. Sagano?
33.
Well, John's going to struggle with me.
Nope.
Can tell.
19. Morton?
I have no
50.
clue.
Kittredge?
78.
39. Nope. You said 70, and you were wrong. Jose Castillo was 66. Geraldo?
No, I have no idea.
76. And Dominguez, 56. And Wells, 68.
All right.
All right. All right, John. You get the Orioles mix number 1.
I need 2 to win, or 2 to tie, 3 to win.
This one seems to be a little easier. Sorry, Jay. I think you just picked the wrong one. All right, ready?
Yeah.
All right, John. Kyle Bradish.
34.
Wrong. Felix Bautista.
Bautista. Oh, shoot.
5. 4.
78.
3. Wrong. Jackson Holiday.
7.
Yes. Kobe Mayo.
19.
Wrong. Luis Vasquez.
26.
No. Yanir Cano.
Is he 90, 93?
No.
No, whatever.
Colton Cowser.
Oh, shoot. 17.
Yes. Daniel Johnson.
43.
No. Keegan Aiken.
Ugh.
49.
No. And Dean Kramer.
26.
No.
Oh, no.
That's it.
I don't know.
And just so you know, Mike, I'm not sure about any of those. No, I'm just None got 2.
All right. Just for reference, Kyle Bradish was 38. King Felix,
70?
74.
Oh,
74.
Oh, that's right.
Kobe Mayo,
10?
16.
Oh, yeah.
Luis Vasquez, 52. He's Ray Lewis of the Orioles. Yanir Cano. Come on, this one we should know.
70?
78.
Mm.
Cowser, you got. Daniel Johnson was here for a short time, 56. Keegan Aiken, that's one I think I would have gotten. No?
I know.
45. And then Dean Kramer is 64.
Mm.
So it's funny because I feel like growing up, I knew like all the, it might have been baseball cards. You know what I mean? Like you knew all their numbers and like, I just studied baseball cards like it was my job. And now it's just another data piece that goes into the internet. And it's just one of those things that floats around. I don't pay nearly as much attention at the numbers. And
Well, like
the
I
other thing is
remember
players
all
shift
those, like,
teams
guys.
so often.
Right, you know, like Surhoff was 17, Brady Anderson was 9, Ripken was 8, Alomar was 12, Mussina was 35,
Are you just trying to feel good about yourself by spouting
Yeah.
off old numbers?
Yeah,
I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
The last two games that Mike has done, we have tied the new game.
Yes. Tying's like kissing your sister. I hate
For a
tying.
phys ed teacher, that's perfect. Everybody's happy. Everybody leaves. Everybody won.
Oh
It's
my
great.
God. All right. Calm down with your freaking participation trophies. I want victory.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, this has been fantastic. Unfortunately, we do have to call it a night. So, Mike, if you want to wrap things up, we can. We'll see you guys again here later this week.
Yeah, thanks for joining us for Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports. We appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. We're continuing to talk Orioles, Ravens, Terps, and more. The websites you can find us at all over the place, social media. You can find us at dadbods, crabcakes, and sports at gmail.com. If you want to email us, dadbods, crabcakes, and sports on Facebook. You can find us on X at crabcakes_sport, John. Is it something like that?
Perfect.
One day I'm going to get that one. Thank you. All right. Awesome. But wherever you can find us on your podcast networks, on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, wherever you get your free podcast. So reach out to us if you have any questions or concerns, anything you want to bring up, anything you want us to talk about, any topics, please reach out. But until next time, keep on rocking those dad bods, eating those crab cakes, and never miss the game.
Adios.
Adios.